Buddy, after going through the lab stuff, it seems like the number one fear that people have with the final project in lab is worrying about getting enough specimens for the collection. So I'm going to show you a few places around my yard that I would look, and I'll bet you that I can find 15 different types of bugs in the next 15 minutes in my yard. All right, so let's try this out. Number one, I've got this here redbud tree in my yard, and I don't know if you've got a redbud tree, but if you notice, there are some bees buzzing around in here, and flowers are great places to be able to pick up some insects for your collection, because the different bugs that are there are going to be distracted by the flowers and paying less attention to the fact that you're sneaking up on them and videoing them, like this honeybee right here, for example, and I just swooped in on it. So I've got that. I've got carpenter bees. So there's two different insects for my collection at one tree in the yard. As I look down here, I see a little moth fluttering through. I don't know if I caught that just there. So here on the hood of this old truck in my yard, I've got a fly right here. Blam. I've actually got a jumping spider here that's got his eyes on that fly as well. Here is another chironomid midge fly on the side of a vehicle. Right up here we've got another different species of fly than the one I showed you a minute ago. So now we're up to, what's that, 5 different species. I've got this thing where the water comes into the house. I know that it's got a little space underneath it. I look under here, I can see a cockroach running away there. I see a whole bunch of cave crickets, so there's 2 more species. Of course, we've got some other arthropods here that are non-insects. I've got a centipede right there, I got a millipede right there, got some roly-polies there. There goes that cockroach taken out. So we've added 2 more onto our list. Walking through the yard, I catch this little guy right here. And then right over here, there's a carpenter ant moving around, so there's 2 more. Got a termite underneath this log right here. Peeling back mats and stuff are good. We got this little guy right here, for example. Just came flying out from underneath this rug that I just tipped back. Let's tip it back and see if we got anything else wriggling off. Like that was the main one, but that's 11. I didn't look at the mat. There's 12, a little beetle. There's 13, a different beetle. There's the cat checking that one out. Of course, we got lots of big roly-polies cruising across the mat. We know they're not insects though. Once again, we got millipedes hanging out under the mat. Got some different ants. 14 chilling out in this flower here. I think they're probably the same ones that are trying to either move into or out of my house. Get on out of there. There's a cricket. There's the spot. So there you have it. At least 15 bugs in well under 15 minutes. And yes, I kind of know where to look around my yard. That's obvious. It's what I do for a living. But it's pretty simple what I did. I went to flowers. I went to vehicles and looked on the sides and tops of vehicles. I looked underneath stuff like old planters and a rug in my yard. I went into a shed and found some stuff in there. 2 places that I didn't get to look today on this roundabout. One is a wood pile. I looked in the wood pile. Not really much is in there right now because it's warm outside. You can see me in my t-shirt, but a couple days ago it was freezing outside and there was tons of stuff in that wood pile. So if it's cold where you are, go to the wood pile. The other thing is at night, turn on those exterior lights and see what comes up and lands on the side of the wall next to those exterior lights. That's a great source too. So I hope this helped calm some of the fears that you may have out there about being able to get this stuff done. I know they're not going to say stay inside. You will always be able to go outside and move around a little bit. So make sure that you get out and you've got your eyes open for these things, because I almost guarantee that if you find a spot outside in the grass and sit there long enough, you will see bugs. They will come to you. And there are more than one species of ant and fly, and you could get several of those in your collection as well. So more on all this later. I hope you're prepared to get out there and get some of these snaps.